This channel is proudly sponsored by the Demon Ninja Kickstarter, a tabletop RPG of horror and redemption in a dark Japan. Please check out the links in the description and in the pinned comment. They will take you to the Kickstarter and to my ongoing review of the core book. And the Red Room Publishing. Please check out the link to their store also in the description and in the comment. Here's a promo of one of their role-playing games.
Step into this world of shadow and light, where your wit is your greatest weapon, and uncover the secrets that lie hidden in the heart of Paris. Dare to enter the Wretched Epoch.
Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the vampire, Alone in the Darkness. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this solo/cooperative/traditional tabletop RPG, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time I am going to talk about the game modes, the end game, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this tabletop role-playing game. When it comes to playing solo, you have a series of rules and tables for character interaction with the scenario in a more refined way, adding flavor to the events. You will notice that this system makes it possible to play seamlessly without needing a game master or moderator. You can create dozens of new situations, always with two opposing responses. There are three types of generators, each one for a specific goal. When it comes to interacting with characters, anytime you want your vampire to interact with another character not controlled by you, simply make a presence manipulation check against the character's stance. In case of success, your vampire gets what they want and reduces the other character's stance by a number of points equal to presence plus power bonus. Use the stance described in the chapter Enemies as a reference, depending on the character encountered. Use the stance of a vampire for important characters, for example. And remember that if the character's stance reaches 0, they will be demoralized and subject to all your demands. When it comes to interacting with the scenario, it is possible to interact freely with the scenario through questions made to oneself, followed by a D10 roll. It is simple. Make a yes or no question or one with opposite answers. Now, when it comes to my personal advice, do not make this question a part of the fiction. Rather, handle it in a mechanical way. You're going to be observing, interacting, investigating, attacking, all of that, describing the situation in your mind or in your journal, or perhaps through a recording, etc. Keep things within the fiction, otherwise the immersion is shattered. After making the question, roll 1d10 and check on the following table. Perhaps you obtain no or negative, or perhaps to the left, down, below. Maybe something is broken, perhaps a machine is working, perhaps a door is closed, or maybe someone opened it recently. You may create dozens of new occurrences with these binary answers. Using these results, you may freely add new important events, important characters, neutral encounters, violent encounters, and anything else you find interesting for the narrative. In addition, you can use the D10 as a measurement element. For example, if you want to know if there are many enemies, roll a D10. A low number means there are a few, while a high number means a bigger problem. When it comes to important events and characters, many occurrences that affect characters in tiles happen around important events and important characters. Important events present themselves as small quests. You have tables to determine the main threats, the wants, the desires, who is against what, who is an ally of who, and what do they want, what is their purpose. You also have important events in these tables, such as a crowded street, a large museum. Perhaps you find an underground lair. Maybe you walk into a dark alley. Maybe you decide to cross a field running. You, of course, also have tables to determine enemies and potential allies. You also have tables to determine challenges. Maybe something makes the entire place you are in catch fire. Or perhaps an electronic panel opens the passage. Maybe you meet a worker with psychiatric issues. Perhaps a scoundrel who knows everyone. When it comes to playing cooperatively, A group of players or even a solo player may control many characters living in the same city or even in nearby towns, choosing to play together the same situation, adventure, scenario. This game format, known as co-op play, allows characters to move together, help each other during challenges and events, and even confront each other for whatever reason. Every time 2 or more characters are created for this purpose, you must establish a starting haven for each one. If they live together, make it clear. And if they start the game knowing each other. Performing actions and events as a group must obey some rules. If 2 or more characters choose to perform a specific action together, only one will make the check, if the situation requires it. Since there's another character helping, the check is made with advantage. In case 2 or more characters are engaged in combat with 1 or more enemies, the battle will obey the following steps. All characters will perform their actions first, choosing their targets. The players will define the order of actions, or as a suggestion, they can act according to their body stat, from the highest value to the lowest. After the actions from the players, it is time for surviving enemies to react. If they perform an attack, they will direct it towards a character chosen by the players. Perform the reactions of every single enemy, then repeat the process from step 1. If your vampires endure the attacks, of course. So it's all based on context as well. The mediator, if you decide to play with a game master, is a player who acts like a traditional role-playing game referee. It is up to the mediator to conduct the game. The mediator can adjust elements or insert extra ones, like enemies, important events, etc. And you have an entire arsenal of tables to assist you with that. Mediators with experience conducting a role-playing game adventure have the freedom to create new events and structure campaigns on the fly. Now, when it comes to the end game or the late game, in the Vampire Alone in the Darkness role-playing game, the characters learn from their mistakes and successes, becoming more powerful over time. With each passing night, vampires can gradually increase their stats, as well as learn new skills and powers from the dark gifts. The system is simple. Each night, the character gains 1 point of experience. In addition, important events allow you to earn extra experience points. As soon as the vampire gathers the number of points needed, they can spend those advances, they can level up, so to speak. Like other role-playing games, you can play the Vampire Alone in the Darkness for as long as you want. Unless your vampire dies, of course. Then you need to create a new character. However, seeking to give your vampire's life more objectives, it is impossible to use 2 elements to guide the game and establish objectives for your character's actions, the goals and the campaign. Goals are your character's objectives, directing their actions daily until these are completed. The campaign, however, is a series of much more significant events that require a lot of work to reach a conclusion. There is even a campaign example and a game example to guide you in this endeavor. And this concludes my review of The Vampire Alone in the Darkness. What do I think about it? I think this is an excellent role-playing game. Whether you decide to play it with another person, as a traditional experience, solo, you're going to have a lot of fun. And because of the effectiveness of the tables, of the simplicity of the system, etc., this is a great game to play with several player characters on the same side, against the artificial intelligence, so to speak, provided by the tables, by the oracles. The only real challenge is that, if you are playing this cooperatively, I would highly recommend that one of the players takes up the mantle of partial game master, that is, you make use of the tables, of the oracles, but you provide your own interpretation. Perhaps you could take turns. One session could be partially run by a player, the next session by another player, and so forth, because otherwise, every time you obtain a result, everyone is going to enter this long-winded discussion. Even if you are somewhat quick about it, you're going to have an out-of-character conversation, the immersion is going to be shattered, you won't be playing a role-playing game, you will be having a chat room with dice sort of situation. That being said, I highly recommend The Vampire Alone in the Darkness. You will enjoy it with others or by yourself. It is a great game. Thank you for watching this review. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. This has been Abraham El Jaguar, a professional game master. If you want me to run a game for you, please check out the pinned comment below. And remember, master roleplay and you will master the game. Once again, thank you, and see you later.